put your hands together for John Dayton.
Thank you. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Hey, I know what I look like. I'm not the kind of guy that just gets up here and pretends I don't look how I look. I've been described as the great value brand Alan Jackson. Or the dollar store version Billy Ray Cyrus. It hurts my achy breaky heart, it really does. I look like I could get you half off the Tilt-A-Whirl. I could probably get you a couple dollars off the oyster fritter. I know what I look like. There's two kinds of people that can pull this mullet off, okay? It's me and old lesbians who own bowling alleys. That's it. Yeah. It's just me and that lady. Any couples out there this evening? Yeah. You sound happier about it, man. I'm sorry, any happy couples out there this evening? He's like, I promise I love you. Any fans of murder podcasts? Yeah, like big crime junkie fans? Yeah. I drove up here, it's about 3 hours, and that's a lot of murder podcasts that my girlfriend listened to, right? So if I go missing, Brianna Laundry. Now I'm from Salisbury, Maryland. I like the, I like a, yeah. Like I know where that's at. Yeah, I don't get a whole lot of woos for Salisbury. I like to consider it great value brand Baltimore. Half the square footage, same amount of drugs and violence. There was actually a GameStop in Salisbury that got robbed recently by two guys with machetes. Yeah, this isn't Mexico, okay? This is Salisbury, Maryland. And they had masks on because robbery, but also COVID, so they're being safe, you know what I mean? So they ran into the GameStop and they had their machetes out. They're like, "Give us all the money," and the cash register, or the cashier's like, "The best we're going to be able to do is $4.25." Hey, fellas. Nobody told me once you reach a certain age, a doctor was going to have to put his finger in your butt. Nobody sat me down and said that. And especially behind a Dunkin'. I feel like this ring's still in there. I don't know. Tofu and vibrators are basically the same thing. Meat substitutes. So everybody here's got a 100% survival rate with COVID so far, right? There's no dead people out there so far. They wouldn't answer. I think the hardest part, like during the whole COVID thing for me, besides like people dying, was like going to corner gas stations. You know what I mean? Because like I would always do this thing, and I know you guys have done it before too, where you walk up to the place and there's a sign that says, "Where's your mask?" And I'm like, "Fuck!" And I'm gonna go back and get it. And like the other thing that bothers me is that those corner gas stations, like the gas pump tries to tell you how to live your life. You know what I mean? Like it's like, go see the cashier. Fuck you. I'm a senile robot. I don't like how this turns out. You know what I mean? So I'll just drive to the next gas station. Because the last time I listened to the gas pump, it said, "Go see the cashier." And I was like, fuck. So I go in, and have you guys ever seen Blindside? Okay, so he's standing behind the cash register, right? And he goes, this is how he refers to me. I walk in, he goes, "Yo, Ellen DeGeneres." And I answered to. I was like, stupid little dance, you know what I mean? I stopped going in after that. So, we're in Pennsylvania, right? I got a yes and a woo. I need a confirmation. Where am I? So, where my fans of Royal Farms at? Where my fans of Wawa at? Yeah. Yes! Royal Farm. I don't know nothing about that shit. I'm up here, okay? So, Royal Farms is where whores go. I heard a woo for Royal Farms, so someone outed themselves. That's where Royal Farms is where you're riding down the road. You shit your pants. You say, I gotta take a whore's bath somewhere. There's a Royal Farms. So you go take a whore's bath in the sink at a Royal Farms and you keep it moving. A Wawa. Wawa's a special place. Right in my heart. You know what I mean? I said, I'm from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, okay? As you can fucking... You know what I mean? I know where I'm from, okay? I said the most Eastern Shore sentence I've ever said in my life the other day, okay? I said, sometimes there's just a hole inside me only a Wawa hot dog can fill. And my girlfriend stayed with me after I said that. And I think the best part is like when you walk up to the fridge, the hot fridge that they keep hot dogs in, it like there's a magnet so it gives a little pullback, like, you sure? And I'm like, fuck yes, I'm sure. Swing that bitch open. That's the cool thing about Wawa's, man. You go there for an experience. You know what I mean? You might get run over in the parking lot, but it's a fun time while you're inside. I think my favorite part about Wawa's, and I frequent Wawa's, okay? Like there's one in Salisbury called the Wawa on the S-curve, right? It sounds magical, right? But this Wawa, and I don't know about a whole lot of Wawas up here, but this Wawa is where it's a breeding ground for homeless people. Like, as far as the eye can see, homeless people, right? They just step out of the gas pumps. You know what I mean? But they do this thing, so I've frequented it enough where I have my favorite homeless person, right? So he comes up to me enough, like to the point where I think we're friends, you know? And I've named him. Yeah, I'm sure he's got one, you know, like a God-given, but I named him. Named him Chrysanthemum. After my favorite bush. Neither of the Georges. So Chrysanthemum does this thing. And I think all homeless people, and realistically all people reach a certain age where you just look like you're chewing on something. You know what I mean? Like where you want to grab and be like, what the fuck you got? I know it's not teeth, you know? What the fuck you got? It's like you're shaking a baby rattle. But the thing about Chrysanthemum, he does it, but I'll show you. So I'm just minding my business, you know, like a Christian. Got the gas pump, and the Chrysanthemum, I think, smells me. So he does this thing where he'll pop out from behind a gas pump. Hey man, I need $6 to get to Virginia. And I'm like, even in a Tesla, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So he's done it enough. He's done it a bunch of times, right? And I always give him his $6. Like I said, I'm a Christian. So I give him his $6. I figured we're friends enough at this point where I can fuck with Chrysanthemum, right? I've done my due diligence. I've given him his money. So, Chrysanthemum, I see him. He sees me, we lock eyes. I see him coming, so. Hey man, I need $6 to get to Virginia. And I'm like, okay, Chrysanthemum. So I reach in my center console, but what he doesn't know is on the top dollar bill, I've drawn a pentagram, like the devil's store. He says, I need $6 to get to Virginia. And I go, okay. You can have this $6. but you have to sell me your soul. And he looks at me, he looks at the $6, he chews on nothing, and he goes, deal, and he runs off. I was like, $6! And I've heard tell that as soon as he gets to Virginia, he just teleports right back to that same one. I'm a goddamn mess. Despite how I look and act, I do have a girlfriend. Woo! The fuck? Not a whole lot of happy about love people in the crowd this afternoon, I guess. I'm in a relationship with a beautiful, healthy woman. Thank you. But in relationships, you find out truths about each other, right? Like a fact. Like, she's never going to waver on this, and that is her. And I have facts and truths about me. I'm never going to waver on this, this is me, you know what I mean? And her truth is she likes her towels folded in thirds.
Woo! Yeah.
That's her. My truth is I'm about to sneeze away from shitting my pants at all times. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. Severely lactose intolerant. Okay, but Dad likes a big old bowl of cereal for bed sometimes. And she's an educator, so just give her a round of applause for that. And I fucking do this. So someone's got to have the health insurance. But she gets ready in the morning, like bright and early. She's got to go teach the youth, you know? And fellas, when you wake up in the morning, right? That's the best you're going to look all day. Right? We all know this. You're like dehydrated from sleep. Your skin's tight. You're like, oh, it's an ab. Fuck. You know? And like you just catch yourself in the mirror real quick and you do that. But I, instead of catching myself in the mirror doing it, I just do it in front of her. Right? So she's trying to get ready in the morning, like trying to like get paperwork together, like to teach the youth, like I said, and I'm just like, babe, and I'm starting to turn purple, you know, because I'm flexing so hard, babe. And then finally she's like, fucking what? What do you want? And I'm like, you like what you see? And like I said, not only am I lactose intolerant, I have a severe distrust of my own anal muscles. You like what you see? And then right as I said see, I shit my boxers. Just so, this is what it looked like. You like what you see? And she's like, are you happy? And I'm like, I'm so happy. But we have truths about each other, you know? And we have this, like, every couple has a truth about them. Like, this is what we believe. This is what we stand for, you know what I mean? And our truth is we're both trash. There's different levels to trash, though, you know what I mean? I'm from Bivalve, Maryland, originally. It's named after an oyster. So, yeah. Her mom's from England, originally. British accent and everything. So by default, that makes her fancier trash than me? Rubbish, if you will. Like her bag is nice, like her trash bag is nice. It stretches instead of rips, it smells good. Hefty, hefty, hefty. That's her bag. My bag's got a hole in it already. Like you pull it out of the box and it's got a hole in it. I'm like, why does this smell like picked crabs already? This thing stinks. Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. That's my trash bag, you know? Like she's got a uncle that owns a hotel in Wales. And I have an uncle that one time walked up to me and said, hey man, I want to show you a picture. And I was like, I feel like it's going to be gross. He was like, I promise, man. I promise on your aunt's life. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are you bringing her into this? He was like, I promise on your aunt's life it's not going to be gross. I was like, I feel like with you saying that, it's going to be even grosser than I expected. I promise, man. I promise it's not going to be gross. I was like, fine. Look what come out my nose last week. I put a quarter next to it for size reference. So that's it. You know? And like with that, we have different upbringings. You know, like her mom's from England, so she was raised Catholic, like over there Catholic. You know what I mean? Like real Catholic, not like the bullshit we have here Catholic. You know what I mean? Like in nomine Patri Filii Spiritus Sancti. And I went to one of those newfangled dancing churches like you see on Facebook Live. Like a lot of those. You know what I mean? Like I had and for some reason when I picture people in the Bible, like even just like picturing like religious people in general, I give them a southern accent. Like I know Jesus wasn't from the South of like America, right? I don't know, I didn't pay a lot of attention. But so like I went to like Christmas Eve Mass with her family for the first time. That fucked me up a little bit, you know, because like there was a dude who like I didn't know the thing, like I didn't get that. Like they were like the blood is Christ, the blood here, take this, and you put it in your mouth and you're like, this tastes like cardboard. What is this? So this is Jesus' blood I'm drinking, and then one dude like, and I was like, this isn't right. This isn't right. I feel wrong here. And like I had a youth pastor that would say like crazy like hip things. So he'd say things like if y'all can do me a favor, if y'all can do me a favor and open your Bibles to the book of Somebody Once Told Me. I'm just kidding. Like he was talking about Easter one time, and he said, you know what Jesus did? You know what Jesus did on that third day at Easter? He ain't danced. He ain't pulled his pants up. But he moved that rock away. I'll lean back. I'll lean back. And like this, yeah, it's okay, it's a thinker. He wrote that, I didn't. The Lord. And like I said, I got trash brain, so I think of weird stuff like the conversation between Jesus and Mother Mary, like when the birds and the bees came up, and Jesus comes up and Mother Mary and he goes, Mama, Mama, where do babies come from? And Joseph stops him. He's like, yeah, Mary, where the fuck do babies come from? So everybody see that Antonio Brown thing?
Yeah.
Like, no matter what race you are, you can agree. It's a good body. Like, that's a good body on that man, you know what I mean? Like, you look like that, do what you want. It doesn't matter. And like I was thinking, like I saw him and I was like, I think Antonio Brown could do porn. But it's not often that I look at a male porn star and think like, could that guy take a hit? You know what I mean? Still working on that one, thanks Jeff for laughing. I see people comment on things on Facebook, and like Facebook's a weird place, right? Because you got to be really careful what you say. And this one time, this lady posted a picture of her daughter, like a very young daughter, and she was like posed, and then somebody was like, "Look at the sass on that one," and I was like, that first S in sass is the most important S in history. So otherwise, you're going right to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. So, fellas out there, did you live with a bunch of roommates at any point in your life? Like just live with a bunch of dudes? Yeah, it's fucking gross, right? They just are disgusting human beings. But I think the hardest part about living with male roommates is finding out their schedule. Any schedule. You know what I mean? You never know what they're doing. And this one time I come home, and my roommate's a server, so he works nights. And I was like, I know he works nights. I'm gonna come home, I'm just gonna be by myself. I see his car, and I'm like, I got a buddy. I got a buddy to hang out with. You know what I mean? So I get up to the door, and like, my keys fall out of my hands. It hits the ground, I'm like, whatever. I got a buddy. And I unlock the door, and all the lights are off. The whole house is dark. So I'm like, oh, fucking, I don't know about you guys, but once the lights in my house are off, I forget the layout of the house. So I'm like a blind man just trying to find a switch. So I'm finding the switches, and like I'm going in bathrooms, and I'm Scooby-Dooing it. So like I'm going in bathrooms, and I'm coming out the kitchen. You know what I mean? So I finally get all the lights in the house on, right? And I get to his door, and I'm like, I got a buddy. And I get to his door, and I do that thing that assholes do. And I just swing the door open, right? And it's what he was doing that freaked me out and has scarred me to this day, maybe. He was just standing in the corner, turtlebacking it, real tight back. You know what I mean? Hey, you ever jerked off standing up? Yes. I've never gotten a quicker yes. No, I get you, I'm with you, I get you. McDaniel College. You get newborn deer knees, right? Like Bambi, real weak knees. You know what I mean? You get a couple of those. So he's doing his thing, right? Like Baby put himself in the corner. No candles lit. Treat himself like a prisoner, you know? So he's doing his thing. I open the door, shed the light of God on him. Because like I said, I'm a Christian. He's doing his thing, I shed the light of God, and it's how he looked at me. Shed the light of God, he goes, "What are you doing?" Chrysanthemum moved out a week later. You guys have been amazing. I'm John Dayton. Have a good night.